Alright, so here's the dashboard in my blue 928, and I've got this cover on it because you can see it's pretty nasty. The leather's all coming off, and even the vinyl panel under it, it's peeling up and coming apart and is no good anymore. I don't think any amount of effort in the world would actually fix that panel. But conveniently, we have the 84 parts car, and while its dashboard isn't in great shape either, it's a vinyl one, and it's got some cracks in it about here, and we'll go look at it, but it seems pretty well intact. So I think what we're going to do is work on pulling that dashboard out of that car and get it recovered or something, and then once it's done can put it in this car. Alright, so up here looking at the 84, you can see, so it's got some cracks in the dash, but I think we'll be able to fill those in with something, and since it's going to get covered anyway, you won't be able to see them. So I guess we'll start pulling the pod out, which, since someone had already taken the cluster out of this car, should be a little easier because it's not really bolted down well. And so, seemingly convenient for us, the center console panel isn't too well attached right now at all. I think there might be a couple bolts under there, but the shifter came off. 2 bolts holding it to the dash are actually accessible through the vent to 8 mils. So we'll get them out, and then maybe the console will lift out of the way. Well, after disconnecting a multitude of wiring from here, I think we finally got this out. And I was hoping we might have also been able to use the center console and do something similar, just have it recovered, but a lot of places the vinyl's all peeled up and warped too, just like the dashboard in my 86. So I think this console is pretty well dead. Anyway, now with the center console out, should be able to undo these bolts for the column support here. And then I think it's just a couple bolts on this side and a couple bolts on that side, and the dash panel will come on out. I guess now I just gotta get these ducts out. So, question. Yeah, that one's not a problem. So there we go, we got a dash out. So there, one ready 928 dashboard. Alright, so now in order to hopefully start fixing this dashboard up, we gotta level off where these cracks are, so it'll be flat and then we can fiberglass over that. So we're gonna start sanding it down and hopefully flatten it off. Alright, so we got all the cracks sanded down good, and we went over the whole thing too lightly, since we're going to put a thin layer of fiberglass over the whole thing just to give it some more strength so it doesn't get more cracks, hopefully. We'll have to get the die grinder and grind these cracks wider so the fiberglass has a better area to grab onto there. And we'll use the long hair stuff for that, and then the short strand stuff over the rest of it. And we don't need to worry too much about the appearance of it, as long as it's all nice and smooth and flat, since we're going to recover it with something else. Actually, I think we'll use the Dremel instead, because I didn't want to drag the air compressor outside and don't want to do it in the garage and make a mess with all the dust in there. But it should work just the same with the grinding stone. Alright, time to clean this up and get it ready for some fiberglass. Alright, we got the cracks all fiberglassed in, maybe a one or two in the middle between the defrosters there that we need to get yet. But we'll let this layer dry and then we'll sand it down and go from there. Well, we gotta take a break to go swap out the sander battery, but so far it's looking pretty good. We're definitely gonna have to put another layer in some spots, but you run your finger across it, you can't feel a ridge from it curling up anymore, so that's good. And let's see, but I think the car with the leather dash might not have those filled in between those, but I'll have to go look at it. But yeah, we'll get this sanded off and then we'll put we might do another layer right over those, but we'll do a thin coat all the way across to give it some strength, because you can see in a couple spots, where was it? Anyway, some places it was starting to come a little bit off of around the crack, so this will give it some strength there to go across it and kind of bond the whole thing together. Alright, so the whole thing now has some fiberglass on it, and now it's time for sanding. Alright, so now the dashboard is hopefully in good enough shape that it can get covered in either vinyl or leather or something. I think I want to go back to, or stick with the original look. So I guess it's just a matter of, looks like online you can order the cover for it. Just, you have to glue it on and everything with the original style stitching and everything for around $350. Or maybe I can see if somewhere locally can do it a little bit cheaper, but I think that's where we're at next.